What the hell is Saw Sports or whatever that last call was talking about? What the hell is that?
Guys are from Free Love, man.
What is up, Sauce Nation? It is your boy Hector coming at you with a video, and today we're going to talk about players from Europe that we could be seeing playing here in the MLS, and I think that Dynamo should try to bring in these guys. Now, these guys do fit to needs that I think. So this isn't like the Mexican video where I just grabbed some guys. Even though most of them did fit our need, maybe like the defensive players probably weren't, just because I don't feel that defense is necessarily a major need right now. But these guys can all fit and help the Dynamo right away, especially upgrade the positions that they're currently having. And also, I'm just going to give you guys a little heads up. This is also me thinking that, you know, we could be losing Mauro Manotas and Albert Feliz, and some of these guys could go in and pretty much fit for us right away. Now, as you guys always know, when we do these top 5 type of videos, we always give you guys a bonus always. So this is actually more of a top 6 more is than a top 5, but the top 5 I think are ones that we should definitely go for, and that bonus is kind of maybe didn't necessarily make the top 5, or maybe it was just a little too far-fetched for me. For this case, it just necessarily didn't hit the top 5. So these are 5 guys that I think that can come into Europe, that are from Europe, that can come to the MLS. Now, before we get going with this video, make sure you guys like this video. Go ahead and comment. Tell me who from Europe do you want to see here play for the Houston Dynamo, or maybe just come play the MLS. And make sure you guys subscribe to Saucy Sports TV so you guys get that extra content on the other teams in H-Town, whether it be the Astros, the Dynamo, or the Rockets, or any other team in the Houston area. But without further ado, let's get going with this video. So to start things off with number 5, I actually have an American player but currently plays in Germany, and that is Fabian Johnson. He is a left winger but can also play as a left back. He is 32 years old and he currently plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Oof. I think Hart is gonna have a fun time with that name. But anyways, and I actually can't pronounce it. I just kind of messed up right there. But one thing that I will mention, all these guys, their contracts will be expiring in 2020. So these are guys that honestly we could go out there and just pursue, just give them a contract, and that's pretty much it. But Fabian Johnson, obviously an American player. He's an American-German player. Was part of that Jurgen Klinsmann regime where he was bringing in a lot of German-American players. Obviously, Fabian Johnson's one. Another one that you think of is Jermaine Jones. So this was kind of the start of that, but I think Fabian Johnson was a solid player. Doesn't get many call-ups as of recently, but I think is honestly a solid player from that U.S. team at that point. But let's talk about his career. So in his career, he has a total of 413 appearances, has scored 28 goals, 47 assists, and 12 yellow cards. The left wing is definitely one that Dynamo need to address, and I think this guy could come in and fit that need. He's very fast, he's very quick. Not only can he play as a left winger, but he can also play left back for you, so he's there for depth as well. And I just think that he would be a solid addition. I think he could be a very good leader. He has a ton of experience, obviously, playing in Germany. So I think that he can definitely kind of help give some confidence in a lot of these younger players that the Dynamo have and make them a better team. And I think that him and Tab Ramos definitely could work very well for each other, especially as he is a U.S. soccer national player that could definitely help work with Tab Ramos. So at number 4, I have the English goalkeeper Joe Hart, who currently plays at Burnley. He's 32 years old. Now, I've said this plenty of times, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it again. When it comes to the goalkeeper position, I love experience with goalkeepers. I do know that athleticism and youth can also be very important, but I think understanding the game and knowing how to have a better command of the back line is crucial for any team, especially on the defensive side. And I think Joe Hart, with his experience, lost his starting job when he was in Manchester City, obviously, but I think that Joe Hart could easily, you know, he's been actually linked for the MLS for a while now, and I think the Dynamo should go ahead and try to push for that and bring him in. Now, in his career, he's had a total of 538 appearances, has had 13 yellow cards, and has 182 shutouts. I think that is something that you really got to look at. I think he has a ton of experience, and I just think the goalkeeper needs to be upgraded. No offense to Marco Maric. I'm sure that he's pretty good. I do like that he has experience, but I do like players that have a lot of proven experience as well, and I think Joe Hart has that for me. So at number 3, I have another English player, Ashley Young, more known for his time at Manchester United, but currently plays for Inter Milan in Italy. He is a left winger, but can also play left back. So once again, kind of going back to what Fabian Johnson is, but Ashley Young, I think maybe more of a well-known, especially for a lot of people that are Manchester United fans. He's 34 years old, so he is definitely up there in age. And to be honest, man, all these guys are above the age of 30. But just to mention about this, though, I think that Ashley Young is still a very solid player. I think he will do better than some of his counterparts from England. When I think of Ashley Cole, to be honest. But Ashley Young, I think, is a lot better than that. And in his career, he has a total of 566 appearances, 78 goals, 113 assists, 97 yellow cards, and 2 red cards. I just think he's very well experienced. He could definitely help with the attack. Once again, kind of being someone that can definitely help give some confidence to these young players, especially on the attacking side. And I think that that's going to be a big need from him. So he doesn't have to play left back, because that's what the Manchester United did, that because of the fact that they were just overloaded with wingers. But I think with the Dynamo, he can easily jump in at that left winger position and just go in and do his thing and definitely help the Dynamo get better, especially on the attacking end. And so that's why I would love to see Ashley Young in a Dynamo uniform. All right, so for number 2, and this is kind of going into something that I saw Tigres do, and that was to bring in a French forward that's kind of on the upper, the taller side, not necessarily the fastest player on the field, but definitely just a big body. You just aim at it and you just know that he's going to score goals. And this is why I want this guy to be brought in, and that is Olivier Giroud, forward, 33 years old, that currently plays at Chelsea. Though if you think of his time at the EPL, I think most people will remember him from his time with Arsenal. But in his career, he's had a total of 507 appearances, has scored over 203 goals. I don't know why I said over. Has 80 assists, 57 yellow cards, and 3 red cards. This guy is a tall target. He's a big target. Easy, just send it to him, and he's going to score goals for you. Clearly, it shows as he has over 200 goals in his career. I think that this guy could come in. Doesn't necessarily have to be as active as many people would imagine. He doesn't have to go out big for runs. Just be at that right place at the right time, and he's going to feed this team with goals. And I think that Olivier Giroud would be perfect for what the Dynamo does, especially when they like using the wing play. I think that he would just once again be that tower and just go in and score goals for this team. So I would love to see Olivier Giroud here in Houston. Now, this is obviously the number 1 guy. I think that he would be the best option. He has a ton of experience, and even though he's up there in age at 34, I think that this guy still has it, especially what we need him to do, and that is David Silva. He is a midfielder, and obviously he's known for Manchester City, but he also had a career with Valencia as well. This guy, to me, is a leader. This guy could come in and easily be the captain, be that leader, that role model, has a ton of experience. I think this guy would be perfect to be the new leader of this Dynamo regime. And in his career, he has a total of 624 appearances, has scored 109 goals, 170 assists, 68 yellow cards, and 1 red card. Once again, he's 34 years old. I know I'm not really, this isn't like defending the argument that Dynamo's a retirement league, but I think David Silva still has a lot to play in, and I think if he comes to the MLS, he will be a beast here. I think that he has just a great eye. He knows how to deliver the ball, and he can also score goals as well. I think that if he comes in, he's automatically the captain. No offense to Bonilla Garcia or any other player on this team, on the Dynamo currently, but this guy comes in, he screams leadership to me. This guy would be perfect for the Dynamo. He fits what they need. They need a guy that can go in and help the midfield. The midfield needs to be improved. This guy automatically improves that midfield. So I would tell you right now, this is the guy to go for. If there was a chance for him to come to the MLS, I don't care who you have to go over, I would be going all in for David Silva. I would give up as much as I need to get David Silva in a Dynamo uniform. And like I said, this guy has a lot of experience, has played with a lot of great players. This guy would bring people. The people would come watch David Silva. He's won the World Cup. There's the list of his accolades is just ridiculous. I think he's a solid player, and it would be smart for the Dynamo to bring this guy in. So if you're new to Sauce Sports, I don't know how, but if you're new to Sauce Sports, we always have a bonus person when we do these top 5 lists, and my bonus guy is Pedro. That's it. I mean, I try to look him up as much as I can, but it just shows me Pedro. But Pedro, he is a winger. He's 32 years old. Plays for Chelsea, but I also would kind of say he's more known for his time at Barcelona. So this guy obviously already has a pretty good resume himself as well. And in his career with 522 appearances, he scored 142 goals, has 90 assists, 48 yellow cards, and 1 red card. This guy immediately improves the wing for the Dynamo. And this guy, even though I don't think it's unrealistic to get him, the reason why he didn't jump on the top 5 is just because I really do prefer Fabian Johnson over him, but that's not really saying anything much. This guy's versatile. He can play on each wing, at either end of the wings, so he can be that upgrade at the left wing, or if we lose Albert Valise, he can be that upgrade on the right wing as well. I think that this guy can come in, has a lot of experience, once again can help support the attack, and like you can see, he can score goals as well. He has a ton of experience. He's played with a lot of great players, has played alongside one of the greatest players to ever play the game in Lionel Messi, so this would be the perfect person to come in. I think most realistically as well, to be honest, even though I gave you a list of all these guys, but realistically I think Pedro can really actually happen. And the reason why I say that is because I don't think he's really being used that much right now in Chelsea, because of the fact is that Chelsea is stacked at the wing position, especially with these young players. You're talking about Christian Pulisic, you're talking about a lot of young players. Willian, not necessarily young, but still has a lot to play, and I think Pedro is just the odd man out right now. And with his contract expiring this year, it does seem realistic that Dynamo can go in and get him and bring him in. I don't think that he's necessarily a name that screams out a lot of attention for a lot of teams, so I think that this guy could be realistically a part of the Houston Dynamo, and I think that it wouldn't be a terrible decision. I think he'd be a great addition. I think he would automatically improve the attack, just let alone what he has in his experience as well. So I think Pedro would be great. I think this would be somebody that a lot of Barcelona fans and Chelsea fans would actually come and see. Once again, kind of going back to what I said about in the Mexico video, there's a lot of people that are fans of these teams that I've listed, and I think that especially with him being a Chelsea player and a Barcelona player, I think a lot of Barca fans or Chelsea fans will come in and watch him play, and then hopefully watch the Dynamo and then be like, this team isn't really that bad. It's actually fun to watch, and I get to watch a player that has played for my favorite club. And bang, boom, we got a Dynamo fan now. But obviously that's wishful thinking, but I think that this would be the most realistic guy if I were to look at my list. So that is my list of guys that currently play in Europe that I think would be good additions to the Houston Dynamo. Now, tell me what you guys think in the comment section. Do you guys like the names that I've given y'all? Do y'all think that maybe I went a little too old, or whatever, or tell me how I'm not helping with the whole stereotype of this being a retirement league? And I get it, but I do think that these guys, even though with their age, I think they still got a lot to play for. But also tell me who you guys want to see, who from Europe, or who's a player that you want to see come and play for the Dynamo. You could be as unrealistic as possible, or you can be kind of realistic in your own right, but just tell me in the comment section, tell me who would you like to see in the Dynamo uniform. As well, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to Saucy Sports TV, and if you guys want a little bit more interaction with guys from the Roundtable like myself, or with Ed Honcho, Mr. Saucy Sports himself, go ahead and join the Patreon. If you get that $5 tier, you will automatically be put into our Discord, where we do a lot of interaction. We do a lot of talks in there. There's like plenty of group chats in there. There's a Rocket section, there's a Dynamo section, there's an Astro section, there's a Texan section. There's also even our discussions where we actually speak to each other. Some guys mute, some guys actually take part in the discussion, but you get a legitimate interaction with us. You get to give us your input and all those things. And to be honest, one of the things that I actually personally like, and I would like to see more of, is guys actually giving us ideas for videos, especially for what's going on right now. It would be a really good time. It gives us ideas. It gives us a chance to be more active in the channel. And I think if being active in the channel will be really good for you. I'm sure you guys will really love that, especially where we're at right now. So if you guys want that extra interaction, I highly recommend you join the Patreon. It's just $5. I understand that if you guys can't, you can't, but if you have the opportunity, I guarantee you it's very well worth it. But with all that being said, man, chucking up a deuce. Y'all stay saucy.